Okay. Let us do it. Climate change extends allergy season. Dustin, are you allergic to any materials, any substances? Are you allergic to any substance? Are you? Like my son, Oman, he's allergic to dustamite, of course. What is a dustamite? Dustamite, it's 진드기, 진먼지 진드기. That's the dustamite. So he's slightly allergic to dustamite. I am allergic to dustamite. And he is also, I guess, allergic to some particular kinds of timber. What's a timber? Or lumber or timber? They are the same. Like a 목재. Okay, some specific kinds of trees or timber he's allergic to. And he also allergic to wool. And he's allergic to lamb. You know the lamb? The baby sheep. That's a lamb. So when he consumes any forms of lamb, fried, steamed, boiled, or grilled, whatsoever, he reacts. His body reacts to the intake of lamb. So he has some ulcer, like he has some rashes on his body. You know what it means? Rashes? 두드러기? You got some rashes. And some red spots. Like a 홍반. You got some red spots and rashes all over his body. So, Dustin, are you allergic to any substance? Don't just say yes or no. That's not what I want you to tell me at this point. I want you to complete sentences because you are able to do it because you proved that you are able or capable of making sentences with the logic, with the proper grammar structure. So are you allergic to any substance? So you simply can tell me, respond to me this way. I am allergic to blah, blah, blah. I am allergic to dustamite. I'm allergic to lamb. I'm allergic to milk or peanut substances. What are you allergic to? Food? Is it meat contained one or what? Or vegetable are you talking about? Or so what about you milk, like a lactose tolerance? Lactose tolerance means anybody who has that symptom cannot digest milk product appropriately. So this person may undergo some diarrhea, like a bowel, like malfunction on the person's bowel, intestines. So lose water through, the form of the watery waste. Okay, so what is this reaction of your body system or immune system once you have the allergic substance comes in your body system? What happens to you? What kind of symptoms do you experience? What is it? Rashes? You got rashes? What about throat? Some of my friends, they have allergy to apples or peaches. Okay, he consumes that. One of the guys that I know, he consumes that. Any of them, peach or apple, his throat swells, like it gets bigger. So his trachea, 기관지, gets narrowed because of that chemical reaction in his body system. So he can't breathe well. He can't breathe at all. So he has some medication injected immediately. He wouldn't have to take longer than like 5 or 10 minutes. Okay? Otherwise, he will be dead shortly. Okay, not everyone in the world looks forward to the joys of spring. What is that? Do you know what it means, look forward to? You are expecting. You expect with excitement. You understand? When you wait for something to happen with excitement, that means you are looking forward to it. Okay? So not everyone in the world looks forward to the joys of spring, because the spring is notorious in terms of getting, allergic to, pollen. Super tiny fine powder of flowers, or even other substances in the nature, right? So these people are horribly reacting to the incoming of pollen. So they get sick. They can't breathe like their nose. What happens? They have nasal issues, like a nasal infection, 비염, or all of through their throat and nose. While many people take delight, means enjoy, in observing the glory of newly formed buds. This is a buds. Okay? You know what it means. These blooms. The buds. What? 곱둥이? Yeah, the buds. And revealing their delicate, meaning 섬세한, blossom, 꽃. Others dread. Dread means gets fearful. They're terrifying. They get terrified. This annual phenomenon. Why? Spring comes every year. Knock, knock. I'm here. I'm at the corner of your street. All right, spring's here. All right, you're going to experience horrible symptoms. Okay? You're going to have stuffed nose. You're going to have the runny nose. All right? You're going to have the choked throat. That's because blooming plants, the plants that bloom, the plants that are going to have flowers, bring seasonal allergies like hay fever. Okay, what is a hay? This is a hay. Okay, fever means 건초, 열. Okay, what kind of fever is that? Most forms of hay, you can see the super tiny particle floating right before the haze when you touch them. Okay, when you just push it and grab it, and you see super tiny, tens of thousands of super tiny particles floating, airborne, around the haystack. Am I right? The super tiny dust, fine dust, and you will have some like a respiratory symptoms, right? So 건초열. You are not familiar with this thing. Are you familiar with this thing? Fever hair? A hay fever? Maybe you're not. Okay. All right, here, I want you to write this thing. Respiratory. It means 호흡의. Okay, respiratory. I said a symptom. Okay. The SARS. Have you heard of this word? SARS? I guess this is what is it? Middle East? SARS. I'm not sure what this first two letters stand for. I guess this is acute, 급성, and this is R. Obviously, this is a respiratory, 호흡, and this is S is for syndrome. Okay, syndrome. What is a syndrome? 증후군. So I guess I'm not sure about this. Anyway, the respiratory. You have respiratory symptoms. Okay, when you are vulnerable to this attack, like made by seasonal allergies. The National Phenology Network in the USA has warned hay fever sufferers, meaning patients, possible patients, okay, that spring has arrived up to 4 weeks earlier than usual. What the hell? That's too early. Not just 1 week, not a 1.5, not 2 even. What is it? Huh? It's horrible. Just 4 weeks earlier then because of the climate change. This is insane. All right. Hyungyun, this is phenology. What is that? Have you heard of this? Phenology? You might not know. This is a 생물 계절학. It's very weird. You might know this. Climatology. This is 기후학 or meteorology. Meteorology, I guess. What does that mean? Guess what it is? Meteorology. What could this be? What could this meteorology? I guess, or meteorology. I'm sorry. Meteorology. Meteorology. That's a 기상학. Meteorology. And this climate, 기후학. And phenology is 생물 계절학. So this is a U.S. organization that is responsible for letting people know what kind of countermeasures they should prepare for, not being under great influence by this seasonal changes. Okay, like seasonal allergies. So yeah, the sufferers, like hay fever sufferers, that they need to be super cautious about what might happen because this spring 2023 is 4 weeks earlier. Holy shit, it's 1 month earlier. The pollen that causes so many symptoms is already causing misery. What is it, misery? Misfortune. This might be translated in Korean, 불운. Or 불행. To make matters worse, this is 설상가상. To make matters worse, 설상가상. Oh, you know what? Excuse me. Almost 30 years ago, when I first got to know some of the English expressions, when I was sophomore, I guess, there was an expression I picked up from a book. It's out of the pan into the fire. You're frying a fish, but this fish thought that being on the frying pan is too hot, miserable. So this fish thought that it's better for him to jump out of the frying pan. But what's waiting for him? The fire. So jump out of pan into the fire means 설상가상. That's 설상가상, to make the matters worse. And the warmer weather is prolonged. What is it, prolong? Extend. To make a period longer than usual. Do you understand? That's extend. That's prolong. Hey, how is it possible for you to make your life prolonged? How do you prolong your lifespan? Eat properly, not smoking, exercise, and riding a motorcycle. You know. Hey, can you buy happiness? You can buy happiness, but you can buy a motorcycle. That is exactly same as happiness. So you can buy happiness. By NPN said it's a little upsetting, means unsettling. You're not happy. You're unhappy. You're frustrated. Why? It perhaps isn't surprising why people, especially those professionals from phenology realms or the meteorologist or climatologist, right? With one voice, they projected, they estimated this 2023 spring might be little earlier, little longer, all because of climate change. Okay, so given means 고려하면 the trajectory our planet is on. What is the trajectory? 궤도. 우리 지구의 궤도를 고려하자면. It's not surprising. It is obviously evident. This is apparent. So, phenologist, like 계절생물학자, climatologist, I'm telling you. Oh, meteorologist. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know. Swear, I did not even know those words may appear. Right after my explanation, I did not know. Meteorologist and climatologist, phenologist. You know, sometimes I am in this wrong idea that I'm super smart. But I'm not super smart. I'm just a little better than dumb. But you're dumb. I'm a little better than dumb. And those people out there, dumbest. Anyway, yeah. These people are blaming 탓한다, climate change for the unreasonably warmer weather. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, 전미, okay, 전국 해양 대기 위원회 협회 reported that the U.S. winter average temperature was 2.7 degrees warmer. I'm talking about, is it the Fahrenheit or is it in Celsius? If they're talking about this in Celsius, it's a huge problem. But it's a Fahrenheit, that's nothing. But they did not mention that. But considering these, the source of this newspaper is UK, like what is it? Guardian, yeah, UPI, Guardian. They're all UK press companies. Anyway, let's say the Celsius. This is a huge problem. 2.7 degrees warmer than the 20th century's average. Holy shoot. Lauren Casey, a meteorologist with the Climate Central, and told the CNN news agency that climate change is resulting in, I told you, what does that mean, result in? 뭐뭐의 결과를 초래하다. Okay? So the climate challenge is resulting in earlier and longer seasons of plants. It's causing a greater prevalence of pollen. What is prevalent? Prevalent mean 현저한. Like you can see certain things everywhere. But you can say prevalent or 현저한, 일반적인, 총체적인. Okay. So, or the prevalence, this is a 명사. So when you say prevalence, it means, you remember the repercussion. You remember repercussion, 반향, 확산, 확대, repercussion. That's prevalence. Like what is that? Spread, and in other words, like shortly speaking. So the pollen spread it everywhere, every corner. You can see them. And she said the pollen was the enemy of people who suffer 고통받다, the allergies. She said the pollen can trigger 유발하다, asthma. Say it, asthma. Like there's asthma attack. Means 천식 작발. What is 작발? 발작. 작발. What kind of person am I? I'm a Korean. I must be someone. Asthma, 천식 attack, asthma attack. And aggravate, very important, means 악화시키다. Aggravate, 악화시키다. The mold, 곰팡이 allergy. Mold allergies. Another scientist said acting on climate change really does matter for people's health. What is acting on? 조치를 취하다. Climate change. You got to do something to address, to deal with this climatology. Call changes like occurring at every corner of the globe. So we need to do something before it is too late. Okay? Now it's your turn to solve the quiz, and I attach the question, right? You need to solve them.